Hello, 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 everybody. It is your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. Okay, today was the last minute day. Sorry. I did kind of wait till the last minute to do some things like oil my hands and oil my hoods, but we got it done. And we are ready to go. Michelle, my Michelle. John, yay! And Michelle, your girl is home too. All right. So I got a list. First of all, welcome to Create and Relate. Come on in the room. I am so happy to have you all here. I really am. It does my heart good. It really does. Every time somebody pops in, it just makes me glow even more. So I do want to thank all of my subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please do so. It's free. And when you see that notification bell, please hit the one with the dimples so that you always know when I'm dropping fresh new content. I love it when you all comment. I do respond to all the comments. Can't respond to them if I don't read them. Therefore, I read all comments as well. And please share my videos. Please, 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 please share my videos. With that being said, I want to thank everybody who showed up Saturday and participated in any kind of way. If you listened only, great, thank you. If you just left comments, great, thank you. If you purchased something, great, thank you. Ultimately, I did sell 2 items. The coffee and cream project bag, it said bye-bye. And also the black and white market bag. They went as well. And I did get some extra orders for some special colored scrunchies. So they're gone. Will there be another sale? Of course there will. Yes, there will. So I'm going to showcase all those items again on Saturday, along with a couple more. Yes, along with a couple more items. As of right now, everything that is sold through October will be rock bottom prices. At the end of October, things will be repriced. Well, no, I will have a new stash by then. And I don't care if it's just 1 or 2 items. Everything that is made after October 31st will be regular price. I will continue to sell the other items until they're gone. If they're not gone by the end of the year, I'll find somebody to donate them to locally. Excuse me. Okay. We're going to save the whips. I'm just going to show you the whips and the FOs. I'm just going to re-show the FOs. It's only 2 of recent, and that is the sparkle teal and silver wrap. And y'all, what y'all didn't see was the completed cardigan. She is all done. All done. I am so happy with that. I'm so happy with that. And it took, in hours, I would probably say about 13, 14 hours. It really didn't take long. The hexagon itself, of course, the bigger it gets, it seems like taking forever to go around the outside of it, but it really wasn't that bad. It was not that bad at all. Now, whips. Juan has a Nana June's blessing blanket tutorial on his channel that he put out Tuesday. Thank you, Joan. And um, I love the pattern. Did I tweak the pattern? Yeah. Is that not what we creators do? Sam, how are you? So I only tweaked it a little, not to take away from the structure of it. When he does his chain threes to make a double crochet, I build my double crochets for the next row or round, which means I make the stackable single crochets. Um, Not only that, Juan turns his work each round. It's back and forth. I kept all of mine forward. All of mine was worked in the same way. So there is a distinct difference to me between the back and the front of the work. Either way, the pattern is gorgeous. The pattern is so easy to work up. I did an 8-round swatch the day that he dropped the video in, like, I'll say an hour and a half. And that was from learning it to completion. And you know, it takes time to learn it. The video, y'all, is like 24 minutes long. Okay? 24 minutes. But with the stopping and catching up and all that good stuff, you know, he stops so that you can catch up. All of that included, I got all the way up to where my orange is now. But I had done it all in green just so I could get the stitches down. And then I frog back. I'm kind of using two of his patterns in this. I incorporated two. If you're familiar with the 2-Bit Granny, where he starts with the 4 rounds of one color, and then every 2 rows he changes color, not duplicating any colors. This one, of course, was specific because it's for someone. So I started with 4 rounds of his Nanny June um, blessing blanket. And then every 2 rows from there, I changed colors. The colors that she specified were yellow and orange. And she said fuchsia, but I don't have fuchsia. We're going to get back to that in a second because, y'all, that is another whole list, which I am depending on you all to keep me accountable for. So, before we get there, I did not go out and buy any fuchsia. I used red instead. This entire blanket is being made from mainstay yarn, 100% acrylic. Each skein has 397 yards. It calls for a 5.0 hook. I am using a 6.0. Very fluent. Falls great. Mainstay is quickly becoming, it is right now my second favorite yarn. Big Twist being the first. But like I said, all of this is mainstay. The only thing I have to do in what I have presented to you is clip ends. Not even sew in ends because I crochet over my ends. So all I have to do is clip ends. One there, a couple on the front. But yeah. Um, so what I did was the 4 green, then 2 yellow, 2 orange, came back with the green being like that's your main color. And then the red went back to the yellow. And you can see the pattern. Yellow, orange, red, yellow, orange, red, yellow, orange. And then after I finish this row, which is the crisscross, I'm going to do 2 rounds of the red and 2 rounds of the green and probably go through the sequence again. One of the exciting things that I decided to do, y'all, this jar was full of animal cookies. Not when I got it. And I have grandkids. But when I got rid of the cookies, I cleaned the jar really well. And I decided to keep my scrap balls in here. I have a winder right here beside the bed, and I will just pick that table up and set it up right here and turn them into mini cakes and pop them right in here. So the only thing I'm using out of here right now is the yellow and crochet. Well, I did have another object that I started that I was not completing. So I've been using the yellow off of this, but it's working up. I'm starting to see stash go away. Now we got that whip out of the way. I'm going to work on that while I'm talking to you all as well. I know you remember the triple crochet one. Guys, I have not abandoned it. But being that I had these gifts to make, I wanted to work on those and get those done. So no, it's not a case of abandonment. I do still have these. These are in the box because they're going to be used on this project specifically. Some may come out of the jar and go into the box. It depends on how big this gets. It is very large. I've not even taken the time to measure it. I have a queen size bed and it very comfortably goes across my bed, which means that this is going to be a whip for a while. When I get to the point that I am finished or close to finished, and I may even do it today before I start on the last Walmart gift. But what I'm going to be doing is 5 rows a day on this, at least, until it gets done. So there you have that whip. Okay. Upcoming. Trying to see if I have my paper here. I don't. It's out there in my bag. Upcoming whips, if I can remember. I have 5. And these are the nurses and my doctor at Gen Care. One is all black. I have no idea. My piece I haven't started yet, John. Mine is the purple. Mine is going to be the purple um, hexy cardigan, but I haven't started that yet. I'm okay. I already have everything pulled aside. With me completing a hexy cardigan and realizing how simple it is, I already know the things that I'm going to do to make it a little different, so that it's wearable, for me, so that it fits my body. So that part is a piece of cake. That's over there. It's going to get done. But as far as the crew from Gen Care, like I said, one is all black. 2 of them are green, but different shades of green. One likes the grass green. The other one likes close to the mint green. Those colors I don't have. So we may have to figure something out with that. You'll see what I mean when we go over this other long list together. Another color was, okay, that's 3 of them. Pink. She wanted all pink. After I make this other pink project, I don't know how much pink I have left. We might have to go with the base being pink and pick some other colors to go to it. And the other color I don't remember, but I do have it written down. Um, I do remember it's orange, and that's my doctor. So I was going to, she's a redhead. I was going to do like orange, green, and brown because she loves orange and she's got green eyes. So, yeah, that's what I was going to do for her. So that's 5 more projects coming up. Um, I might stick with this pattern because it works up so fast, guys. I was telling you Tuesday night when I started it When I frogged down to here, I got, instead of getting to the orange, I completed two more rounds, I should say, up to the green. I did that night before I went to bed. Yesterday at the doctor and home, I got up to, was it the, I think it was, I got up to the orange yesterday because I did the green this morning before I disillusioned myself and went back to sleep. Funny story. And thank you, Joan, for waking me up. So I got up, I started on the green. I got all but one side done of the green, and I was really happy. I'm holding it up. I'm like, this is gorgeous. It's not that far from done, and oh my God, this is great. And I took out my trusty tape measure. I don't know how much I want to call it trusty right now. And I have to call it trusty because it didn't do it, I did. I don't even, here it is. Took out my tape measure and I measured it and it said 30 inches. I don't know exactly how big it's going to be. I have no idea how big it's going to be. I just know when I get to it, I want it to be bigger than 30 inches. So I was like, even if it was a body blanket, it would have to be at least 40 inches. And I know that I'm shooting for somewhere around in there to the plus side of 40. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, that is 10 more inches. That's like at least 10 more rounds. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then I started, wait a minute, I did a double whammy on myself, y'all. So then I started counting by the color. I'm like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I have enough yarn to do that. Well, first of all, if I had done it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'd have been adding 20 rounds instead of 10 because they're 2 rounds of each. Secondly of all, I measured the entire blanket, not realizing that if you go all the way around, you're not only adding an inch to one side, you're adding an inch to the other side. So instead of 20 more rounds, I've only got like five more color, four, what, not even five more color changes. I don't know, but it was only 5 more inches that I needed on each side. So 5 more rounds, seriously, which is 2.5 color changes. And I already know that I'm going for 5, 6, 7. I know that I'm going at least 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 6 or 7 more. So I will surpass what I need. And it's not going to be in 10 or even 20 rounds. Oh boy. See how we can scare ourselves. But y'all, when I get frustrated like that, or when I disillusion myself, you want to know what my go to is? My go to is go to sleep, which is why I was asleep when Joan called me this morning. Normally I'm up and I'm getting ready for my live. Michelle has caught me like that too. You know. And y'all, my go to, I'll tell the doctors when they ask me, do you want me to give you something for pain? No, I got something. They're like, well, what do you have? Sleep. Lay my head on these big fluffy pillows. And I've not abandoned my cat. I haven't, because I hold her in my arms, my bitty kitty. But y'all, when I started making this snake, I was like, you know what? It makes a good neck pillow. And when I hold on to my Mandy Bear and my bitty kitty, I can hold on to all three of them together I'm still holding the snake, and I'm holding Mandy Bear, and I'm holding Bitty Kitty. Y'all, I'm just saying, some of the best sleep in the world, some of the best sleep in the world. What I would like to do at this point, and please stay with me, y'all. Please, 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 please. I want to do a recap, a quick recap of the ASL alphabets. So I'm going to move over a teensy weensy bit so that I can show the signs like in here. I'll probably keep them in front. That'll probably be easier. But I'm just going to go through the alphabet. I am only going to go through the alphabet. I'm going to do it nice and slow. I'm going to speed up a little, and then I'm going to go kind of fast. I'm not going to go full speed at any time, but I am going to start slow, go up a notch, and go up a notch. I'm going to go through them 3 times. Promise you it won't take long. So here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay? One more time, just a little faster. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, we're going to speed it up, see if you can keep up. Okay, here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Yay! I'm proud of y'all. I am so proud of y'all. To the next step. Okay, whips, FOs. Okay. How many of y'all are getting an astronomical amount of spam calls? I mean, I feel like, is it just me? You know, when you answer the phone and you hear this weird click, like a glitch or something, you automatically know that's a spam call. And the reason I answer the phone so much is because I've had so many doctor's appointments here, and they've gotten So much better because they call using the same area code. So when I see my 757 pop up, I don't know if it's a doctor's office or not. So there are keywords. Never say yes, never agree, never give an affirmation. So most of the times if y'all call me and you hear me say, how can I help you? Or what's up? Or speak, that's why. Lots of times their systems don't pick up those types of greetings. So the call will pretty much end. Just a tip. The other thing is what I've learned to do is call the number back. Let it ring all the way through. Most of the time, if it is important, they'll leave a message. But sometimes they can't. Sometimes it's of a time issue. It's a call they'll come back to. So to be sure, I call back. And usually it says the number you have dialed cannot be, you know, and I'm like, what? Why they're calling me? What's the purpose? I haven't applied for anything. My number is not new on anything. I've not done any of this, and I I have all of these spam blockers on my phone. One comes with the phone. I have an Android through Verizon. So one comes with the phone with Samsung. We get one through Verizon, so that's two. There was one that we pay for, and I have the a free app one. So I've got like four on my phone, but I'm getting at least 30 of these calls a day, which is like so insignificant to the amount that we used to get. Y'all, my daughter and I sat here and clocked it. And one night between 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m., we got a total of 57 spam calls. How is that possible? Very possible. A minute is longer than you think. You think you're getting like one every 30 seconds, which is just about what it broke down to. And I'm like, when I have legitimate calls, they're blocking these calls. And the cutest one is when they call you from your own number. I'm like, this is not a landline, and it's not like you in the other room of the house. I just want to know how you pulled this off. So when I call my kids, I can call them from their own number. Just tell me how you did it. Sometimes I'll play with them. Most of the time, I don't. I have answered the phone, um, Juan's Chicken House, or may I take your order? Kay's Pizzeria, TT's Lane. You know, I I will I'll play with them sometimes. I will. And especially when they ask me for information. Oh yeah, when they call from the Social Security Administration and they tell me that I'm in all this trouble for not doing this and not doing that, the latest one, you know, so because you didn't return the required documents, we can take this information over the phone and we'll get back to you. And I said, well, usually if you mail something out to me, I'll get it. It may be a little late, but hi, Michelle, how are you? But usually I'll get something in the mail. And when that comes in the mail, if you just resend it to me, I'll fill it out and send it back to you. Well, no, we have you on the phone now and we can go ahead on. You don't realize how important this is, how dire this is. And I said, well, baby, I'm 61 years old. Whatever happens to me at this point in my life, I'm good with it. So if you just resend those documents, ma'am, you don't understand how serious this is. And I said, sir, you don't understand just how much I don't give a. So we can call this conversation quits. If you want to send a popo knocking on my door, then do that. Otherwise, resend the documents and I will fill them out. Mind you, it has to be on the proper letterhead. If you cannot comply, then neither can I. Oh, bless your heart. Michelle, enjoy this week and the time you have, because when they grow up, which brings another point to mind, but when they grow up, you're going to do a whole lot of remembering. I have two. One is recently 10 and the other is 7. So, with those ages in mind, you know how they say once you become a senior citizen, you start regressing, you go back to your childhood. Babies, from the kids that I have raised to my grandkids that I watch daily, what I have learned, and guys who may see this, it's not a bad reflection on you, but this is just from observation. We may regress when we get older, but boys go through several levels of regressing. All the boys that I raised and my grandson, my cousin even did it, and he and I were raised like brother and sister. They they grow up to this big boy mentality between, I would say, like 3 and maybe the latter part of 4. And once they reach the end of 4, they go back. But they catch up again when they get around coming up on 7 and 7. And then right in the middle of 7, they go all the way back. Y'all, we in that going backstage right now. I love to play with scammers. Once I was getting calls from my Telstra. So I started answering the phone. Telstra customer service. How can I help you? That is amazing. One thing I did once with those Social Security Administration calls is when they call me, they were asking me for some type of information. And I told a boo boo. I told them I was like, well, we're not supposed to call fellow employees. And he says, I said, I work for the Social Security Administration, and what I need from you, I need your numbers. If this is a legitimate call, you can give me your work ID. Hello? Hello? Yeah, hello? There are so many ways to get rid of them. But my thing is, I don't want to be bothered with them, period. From Jump Street. I really, really don't. It's a waste of my time. I don't walk around with my phone attached to my waist, but when I do have it in my possession, I don't want to spend that time answering or dealing with spam calls. You know, it's a scamming service, so it's not a legitimate job. And I'm sorry that this is the life you chose or the path that you chose, but I can't I can't patronize what you're doing. I can't do it. So we talked about my crochet woes. Health update, guys. I'm great. I'm doing good. Bad hair day, hence the hat. And it's not that it's a bad hair day, it's that I can't find the brush that I want. Can I find a brush? Yes. And yes, I found the detangler, I found the hair smoother, but not the hair brush. The detangler is not going to help it to lay down so that I can smooth it out. So I think we all like to mess with them sometimes. That's why we click. Us got one brain. Yes, us do. So yeah, we mm. But sometimes I think we kind of give them new information or new ways to do this. Okay, weight update. Weight update. Yay! I finally went below 326. I'm at 325.6, y'all. So I'm happy with that. I am. Last night's dinner was superb. It was actually leftovers from the night before. Y'all, when I tell you, my daughter makes the best. My daughter is a cook. My daughter is a cook. She last night and night before last, she had cut up chicken breasts into cubes and stir fried it with vegetables, made a gravy, and poured it over rice, and then made a I'm trying to see that icon. I can't see what that is. And I don't have it on the TV. Gosh be darn it. But I see. Okay. It's a shame I had to back up from it. But she made a broccoli string bean medley to go with it. And they had corn on the cob. I say they because I'm allergic to corn. Do I still eat it? Yes, but in moderation. And I don't eat things like a whole ear of corn. Would I like to? I would love to. I miss it so much. But when I make like my beef stew, when there's a um, little bit of corn in the mix, that's fine. That's fine. Um, but yeah, and y'all, she makes the best biscuits. Did we have biscuits? No, we didn't have any bread, and that was cool because a lot of bread mixtures I'm allergic to. I can eat potato bread, so our bread runs very expensive. Whereas I can get a loaf of great value bread for $1.42. I spend $4 for a short loaf of bread just so I can eat bread. But I'm not a big bread eater. So just so that we'll have bread in the house if I need it, if I want to make a sandwich or something, we all have gone to potato bread. They did that for me. Okay, so this is where I am soliciting your services to help me stay accountable. It's not a big task. And if need be, I will write all of this in my community post. That's just how serious I am about this, y'all. It says, what do I need to do to eliminate my entire yarn stash? Number one, stop purchasing unneeded yarn. Guilty, 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 guilty. Only purchase yarn required for projects. Use yarn on hand, including scrap yarn. Only purchase, no, that's the only purchase I have. I can utilize my yarn by donating, gifting, raffling, auctions, or selling it. The only people who fall under the donate and gift category are family, friends, neighbors, kind hearted people, and yarnies. Um, oh, this is the big one. I hear you, Sam. I hear you. And Michelle, I hear you. Joan, now we know that's impossible because my first stop when I go into Walmart is down the yarn aisle. I don't care what I have to go get. I will at least ride down the yarn aisle. Is it a detour from whatever I'm going to get? Of course it is, because we know everywhere we go, the yarn is always in the back of the store, tucked away in some corner, away from everything else. Number two, crochet at least 8,000 stitches per day. Now, this is where it breaks down to set aside crochet time daily. And that's when I have to break up, several 2-hour blocks or something like that. I currently crochet approximately, it depends on the stitch, y'all. Because if it's like a triple crochet, then it's a little less than 1,000 stitches an hour. Double crochet is a little over 1,000 stitches an hour. Half double is a little more than that. Now, single crochet, I can fly with the single crochet. Single crochet and moss stitch, um, I have done up to 21 stitches an hour. So I, it's not unobtainable. So I wanted to make it 10,000, but I think that would take away from my other household duties and my grandbabies. So yeah, but this is just a goal I set for me, y'all. This is it's just a me goal, Michelle. So okay, so with that, I have to keep a stitch log, which yesterday I did pretty good. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 7,548 stitches yesterday, which I don't think was bad considering I went to the doctor and everything that I had to do yesterday. But that 8,000 gives me a goal to shoot for. Can I do it in the time like once I get off the live? Yes, I can. It's obtainable, and that's what I shoot for. Develop a usable, workable, and work on. No, not and work and use. I crossed that out. And use a yarn stash log. I have several of them around here. I do. Okay, baby. I love you. I love you. I know you're still here. I got you. My problem is getting it all into one place and actually using it and marking things off. Stop adding to it. Keep a whip log. Here again. Got it jotted down here, there, over there, in this notebook, that notebook, on the calendar. Pull them all together. And keep an FO log, which means that I have to start photographing all of my work. Those two pieces that I showed you, have I photographed them? No. Uh-uh. No. I have videos that show the work. Is that a photograph? No. So gather a support team for accountability. Two of you are here. One just stepped away, but is still here. Michelle, you know. Joan, I got you on that list too. There's several people on the list, but y'all are here. And anyone else in the room that wants to join that list, please let me know. And I will not mind being held accountable. Send me a text, send me a message, whatever. Hey, how many stitches have you done today? Or how many stitches did you do yesterday? Did you finish anything yesterday? How much yarn have you used? Let me see your stash jar. Are you working on your scrap blanket? anything to hold me accountable to get this yarn wall down. Show me your yarn wall. I need to take a picture of that. I do. I really, really do. And because y'all, when I tell you that my yarn and my whips are and my mates are running me out of my room, they are. They are. I sleep with yarn every night because there's nowhere for it to go. I got yarn and I'm back to having yarn in my closet. I had pulled all the yarn out of my closet and I'm back to having yarn in my closet. I am. And I need to do. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, like I said, I'm going to write this list on my community page because that's how serious I am about it. Absolutely. When I get a little more comfortable, I'm comfortable with me. It's just some parts of me that I don't like. But once I get down to a certain number, I am going to start taking a making a photo journal on my community page of my weight loss. The only thing I have to photograph now is up in here. This I notice has gotten smaller, and I'm happy for that. I think that's why I have such an attraction to women's necklines because I can see mine again. I, y'all, it's there, and I don't have the triple chin. I suffered from that for years. Um, y'all, I'm gonna tell you a little story, just a teeny weeny one. Won't keep you long with this one. What made me start my weight loss journey? The very beginning of it started way back in 2020. I had met, fallen in love with, and became engaged to a celebrity. And it wasn't the fact that he was a celebrity, it was the fact that I wanted to be better. I wanted to be around for a while, not only to enjoy a life with him, but my grandkids. My grandkids were young then. You know, they were 2 and 5. And I was in the backyard on March 20th, 2020, with my grandkids. And my daughter took pictures of us. And I blew the photo up and looked at my face. And my face, my whole head area looked like a balloon with a face painted on it. It was just huge. And I did not like what I saw. I was the same happy, perky individual that I had always been, but I did not like what I saw at all. It scared me. So that was the first drive and the first 20 pounds that I lost from there. I had my face shape back. It's like I was losing from top to bottom, and I, full transparency, got all the way down to 287 pounds. But 50 pounds of that came with having COVID. I lost 50 pounds having COVID. So once I came off the COVID, of course, that 50 pounds, and I caught COVID in 21. Once that came back, once I got off of that, the weight came back and some, and I got back up to 359. What I'm coming down from now with you all, with this weight loss journey, is that 359. Ultimately, yes, it was the 379. It was the biggest that I had ever been in my life. And coming down to now the 325.6 is a major milestone for me. It's like, I'm so thankful. And the fact that, like, have I eaten today? No. Am I hungry? No. They say you're supposed to eat within the first hour that you awake. My doctor and I talked about it yesterday. She did all kinds of blood work. Everything came back fine. The next time I go, which is in 2 weeks, we're going to do x-rays and all that good stuff. And I'm, other than the aches and pains and stuff that I'm going through, my blood pressure is perfect. My blood work came back perfect. You know, everything is my EKG, perfect. My echocardiogram, perfect. Everything is coming back very positive. Kidney function, liver function, all of this is coming back pristine and A-OK. I'm not even listed under the vitamin D deficiency anymore. My potassium levels have come up. They are where they're supposed to be. Everything is looking great. And this is from months of missing many breakfasts. So, what exactly is breakfast? It's just what its name says. It's a break in fasting. So if I decide to eat at 4 o'clock this afternoon, that is my break fast, my breakfast. Wow. Sam, you gotta fix that. Sunshine, baby, sunshine. I know we don't like the heat in the summertime, but we're gonna have to love on that sunshine. And I take the vitamin D supplements once a week. But until it gets to the point that it says mine is elevated, then we're going to stick with that regime. Yeah, but you don't want to take in too much either. I don't know how you are with dairy. Whole milk is a really good source of it. So is peanut butter. Peanut butter is very good. Milk and peanut butter have each have all the nutrients that you need in them. That's good to remember as well. Um, my mom taught me that as a health instructor. But yeah, um, regardless of what time I choose to eat, or any of us choose to eat, that first meal that you have is your breakfast, regardless of what time it comes. So without knowing it, I have like adopted the fasting diet that they do. Now, I'm not going to fast for days. I know that that's going to send my body into a shock that it doesn't need to go into. So what I do, I'm not even going to say I hold off as long as I can, but I can tell you that it's generally between 2 and 3 when I eat, somewhere around there. Another reason I wait so long to eat is because I go to bed so late at night. I go to bed like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. When Michelle is getting up, I'm going to bed. Now, granted, I get up anywhere between 6 and 7, but I nap throughout the day, but I don't go to bed until late. So, excuse me, I'm automatically going to give my body that 8 hour break. I am back to taking vitamin D, living in northern climate stuff. Yeah, that's understandable. But I mean, sunrooms, you know, when you open your blinds or your curtains so that the sun can shine through, make sure you're in that sunlight. The direct rays are so much better. They are, but spending a lot of time in that sunlight, or the direct, sunlight, as much as can come in your window, is helpful as well. That's why every morning I get up, I'm opening these. I don't sit on the porch like I used to, but I'm sitting here in the sun. I have to close them a little bit so I can record, but yeah. So, and yes, you're welcome, Sam. You're welcome. Um, I'm going to get back to my crocheting. I was supposed to be crocheting while I was doing this, but we know us. I am definitely going to get with my list, and I'm going to try to have it on the community post by the end of the day. Right now, I am going to find my hook. There it is. I am going to put hook to yarn and get to work on this blanket. My mission is to finish this today. So that's what I'm going to be working on. And then I'm going to, I'm not even going to start on the next one real quick. This is what I wanted to ask you. So the other young lady, there are two people who want pink. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I have seven skeins of pink, almost 400 yards a skein. So my question to you, knowing that I have to split this pink between two people, I thought about adding this. I thought about making, she said pink and teal. I only have one skein of teal, which means that I would only be able to accent whatever I do in the teal. And I don't know yet what I'm going to make her. But I thought about maybe adding this color because I do have two skeins of the Summer Warm, or the Warm Brights, I should say, by Big Twist. I have two skeins of this, maybe one skein of this. And then I thought about this, the Red Heart Flower All-in-One Power in the colorway Cherry Blossom, which is so, so cute. So I haven't decided. I thought about maybe these two together, but I bought this with a specific project in mind, and I don't remember what that project was. I didn't write it down. So, Bonnie, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. You brought back my Bonnie to me. Yay! So I thought about these two together because I have four skeins of this, but I got white to go with this. And I kind of don't want to break that up in case I remember what the project was that I got this for. I know it had something to do with window panes because I wanted the white to be the window panes. Whatever it was, I don't know. But I guess I'll figure it out. I guess I will. The only problem, Bonnie, is that I have two people to make things for. Yeah, like I said, I have seven of these, four of these, two of these, and one teal. And I'm not going to be making the same thing for both of them. I think everybody at Gen Care is going to get a blanket or a throw. So, and it's going to be something quick. Yep. I know it is. But, my growing up, Bonnie, my back then, cute story with her best friend, her name is Bonnie. And we called each other cousins. We've been friends for 57 years. And then we found out in our teenage years that we were actually cousins. So now we call each other sisters. And we look alike. We used to have all kinds of competitions coming up. She had very long, beautiful nails, and I was a nail biter. So my mom would always get us together and compare nails, hoping that seeing her nails would encourage me to stop biting mine. It didn't. And her hair was always at least an inch longer than mine. And I've always loved the length of my hair until I got grown and learned that you could cut it off and it could grow back. Now my kids won't let me cut it. But my mom and my aunt always put us in competition with each other. But she was always my best friend, has always been my best friend, and will probably always be. Even though I have a bestie now, um, nobody, because Bonnie has moved up to sister, and I always sing that song to her. I learned that song when I was a little girl. And every time I saw her, which back then was like every day, I would sing that song to her every single day. And even now, when we get on the phone and call each other, I always sing that song to her. So it just reminds me of that when I see your name. That's where that comes from. Yes, nail biting. I have told you, well, you see now, I am no longer a nail biter. What made me stop biting my nails? When I left my second husband. And that's all I'm going to say about that. When I kicked him to the curb, the nail biting was over, and I have not bitten my nails since. I left him August 15th, 2009, and I have not bitten my nails since. Yep. The only reason I didn't show this in is because the middle one broke. And usually, what I do is file the other ones on the hand down to the breakage. But I said, you know what? I'm going to let them grow. This is not the longest they've been, but it's close to it. It's about as long as it's close to as long as they've been before. Probably about another fraction of an inch will be longer. But I'm trying to see how far they go. People say that they can't function with long nails. If you grow them and not just have them worked on to a long length, they're easier to deal with because you learn how to use your hands differently as they grow. It's not like walking into a nail salon with no nails and coming out with dragon claws and trying to learn how to function through life with that. But yeah, letting them grow and learning, certain things that you can. And trust me, you might go through a lot of breakage because being a nail biter, I was so used to being really rough with my hands. And as you all know, I'm a former carpenter. Do I think I could build houses now with my nails? Of course I can. I fix stuff around the house with my nails. I sure do. Yes. Scrubbing the whole 9 yards. Yeah. I stopped biting my nails when I was pregnant with my first. Well, I mean, our hormones are different when we're pregnant, and the nails get pretty. They do. I stopped biting my nails because someone told me I couldn't do it. Ah, yes. The infamous dare. Those are dare words. Yes, I dare you. And we all love a good dare. It didn't work with me. It didn't work with me. I missed out on a car. A car, y'all. My mom promised me that she would buy me a car when I was in the ninth grade if I stopped biting my nails. I didn't get a car. I didn't get it. It's another. Y'all, we are well past our time. I do appreciate each and every one of you for not only being here, but for hanging in here with me. Y'all, I'm having more and more and more fun. I am. This week I just got my nails acrylic with my daughter, and my nails get long and break because I'm in water all the time. Water helps the nails grow. Water and cuticle manipulation. Um, do I keep my hands in my mouth? Unfortunately, yes. But what I do is remove my cuticles with my teeth. You'll see me do that a lot. And water that for some reason promotes nail growth, especially soapy water. I don't know why. So I love my Dawn dishwash. I think that's why I go in there and wash dishes every day. When I work right now, I wear gloves since I got these. And that's cool because you don't want to mess up the finish. You don't want to mess up the finish. But one thing that I used to recommend when I first started my nail growth was 10 minutes a day. Get you a bowl of warm soapy water, 10 minutes a day. Soak your nails until your cuticles become really, really soft. And then gently take a cuticle pusher and push your nails back. Bonnie used to tell me that when we were little kids and it just wasn't registering. And you just lightly push them back. I don't even recommend you cut off your excess cuticles if you're not sure what you're doing because you can cause serious damage. You can cause your cuticles to split. You can cause them to outright tear. And It's not a pleasant, it's not a cool look, and it's not a pleasant feeling. So, like I said, just lightly pushing back. You can do them with the other nails or with a cuticle pusher. Me, I know what I'm doing is dangerous because I can still cause the cuticles to split. But I've been doing it so long, I think my hands and my teeth are used to it. And I know how far to go back, and I remove the excess cuticles with my teeth. Not cool. I know. I know. Well, we're going to cut things right here, guys, because I am over. But I just love you all and I enjoy you all so much. I do. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I want you to remember until we see each other again, which will be Saturday at 2 o'clock. Saturday at 2 o'clock. But, guys, always remember to be bold, be brave, be beautiful, and behave. Remember, Kitty Lane told you, and remember, Kitty Lane loves you. So until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody.